A negotiation was begun between the two of us, or rather, I got to listen to her demands. I want safe passage out of England for myself and the children. New identities, and we get to keep some savings to live on. I'll tell you where we want to live, but not right now. That will come a little later. Prague? I asked. It was a small joke. No, definitely not Prague, Alex. And not Russia either. Or anywhere in America for that matter. I'll tell you where when the time comes. But first, let's decide on what I have to give you to guarantee our safe passage out of England. Oh, that's easy. You have to give us a lot, I said. You have to give up the wolf. But can you do that, Clara? What do you know? Who is he? Where is he? What did Martin tell you? Finally, she smiled. Oh, he told me everything. Martin adored me. Chapter 114.
The Wolf flew his own plane into Teterboro Airport in the northern corner of New Jersey. A black Range Rover was waiting there for him, and he took it into New York City, a city he'd always despised. The traffic was bad, as usual, and it took him as long to get from Teterboro to Manhattan as it had to fly to the metropolitan area from New Hampshire. The doctor's office was situated in a brownstone on 63rd Street, just off 5th. The Wolf parked the Range Rover and hurried inside. It was a little past 9 in the morning. He didn't bother to check if he was being watched. He didn't think so, but if he was, there was nothing he could do about it now. Besides, he felt he had this morning sufficiently covered. As usual, there was a plan for every eventuality. The nurse on duty for the plastic surgery was also there to act as a receptionist. She and the hot-shot surgeon would be the only ones present for the procedures. He had insisted on a staff of 2, and that the office be closed to other patients for the day. "There are a few legal forms for you to look over and sign," the nurse told him with a tight smile. She might not have known who he was, but she suspected there had to be a very good reason for this much secrecy, not to mention that she was being paid handsomely to work this shift. "No, I will sign nothing, thank you," he said, then pushed past her and went looking for Dr. Levine. He found her in a small operating theater that was already brightly lit and very cold. "It reminds me of Siberia, a gulag I spent time in one winter," he said. The doctor turned, and she was mildly attractive, slender, well-preserved, probably in her early 40s. He could fuck her in a pinch, but he wasn't in the mood right then. Maybe later. "Dr. Levine," he said, and shook hands with the surgeon. "I'm ready, and I don't want to be here more than a few hours, so let's begin, now." "That's not possible," Dr. Levine started to object. The Wolf raised his hand to silence her, and it almost seemed as if he might actually strike the doctor. She flinched. "I won't be needing a general anesthesia. As I said, I'm ready. So are you." "Sir, you have no idea what you're saying. None, I assure you. The procedures we have scheduled include a face, neck, and brow lift, liposuction, jaw and cheek implants, and a nose job. The pain will be unbearable. Trust me on that." "No, it will be bearable. I've known much worse pain. I will allow you only to monitor my vital statistics. There will be no more stupid discussion about anesthesia. Now, get me ready for the procedures. Or else." "Or else what?" Dr. Levine bristled. The small woman rocked back on her heels. "Just or else," answered the Wolf. "That covers a great deal of territory, don't you think? It covers pain beyond what you believe I cannot endure. Can you, Dr. Levine? Can your 2 children, Martin and Amy, endure such pain? Or your husband, Gerald? Let's begin. I have a schedule to keep." Always a schedule. And a plan.
Chapter 115.
He never once screamed, never made a sound during any of the grueling procedures, and neither the surgeon nor the nurse could comprehend what they were witnessing. The patient seemed to have no feeling at all. As males often do, he bled a great deal during the operations, and there was already a lot of deep purple bruising on his face. The pain he endured during the hour-and-a-half rhinoplasty, or nose job, was the worst by far, especially when large chunks of bone and cartilage were removed without even a topical anesthetic. At the conclusion of the rhinoplasty, the final procedure, he was told by Dr. Levine not to stand, but he did anyway. His neck felt tight and tender, and there was betadine all over his scalp and throat. "Not bad," he rasped. "I've experienced much worse." "Do not blow your nose for at least a week," the doctor insisted, seemingly trying to maintain her dignity and a tenuous sense of control. The wolf reached into his trousers and produced a handkerchief, but then put it back. "Just kidding," he said, then frowned. "Do you have any sense of humor, doctor?" "You can't drive either," said the doctor. "That I will not allow, for the sake of others." "No, of course not. I wouldn't think of it, putting others in jeopardy. I'll just leave my vehicle here on the street to be carjacked. Let me get you your money. It's becoming boring to be here with you." It was then, as he walked to fetch his briefcase, that the Russian staggered slightly, and also got the first look at himself in a mirror, his incredibly bruised and swollen face, at least what showed around the bandages. "You do nice work," he said and laughed. He opened the briefcase and pulled out a Beretta with silencer. He shot the astonished nurse in the face twice, then turned to Dr. Levine, who had hurt him so much. "Any other things I should or shouldn't do? Any last bits of advice you wish to impart?" "My children. Please, don't kill me. You know I have children." "They'll be better off without you." "I think so, bitch." I bet they would agree. He shot her through the heart. A mercy killing, he thought to himself, especially after the way she'd tortured him. Plus, he just didn't like her, the humorless bitch. Finally, the wolf left the office and walked to his Range Rover. He was thinking that no one knew what he looked like now, not a single person anywhere, and that got him laughing, almost uncontrollably. This was his piece of the puzzle.
Chapter 116. There he is. Has to be. He's laughing. What's so funny? Look at him. Can you believe it? He looks like he was scalped, then had his skin flayed, Ned Mahoney said, when the heavily bandaged man in a gray overcoat emerged from the brownstone. He looks like a goddamn ghoul. Don't underestimate him, I reminded Ned. And don't forget, he is a ghoul. We were watching the wolf, at least the man we believed to be the wolf, as he left a plastic surgeon's office on the east side of Manhattan. We had just gotten there less than 60 seconds before. Almost missed him again. Don't worry, I'm not underestimating him, Alex. That's why we have half a dozen teams getting ready to pounce on him. If we'd gotten here sooner, we could have grabbed him inside the doctor's office. I nodded. At least we're here. It was a complicated negotiation in England. Clara Lodge and her children are somewhere in northern Africa now. She did her part. So the wolf has had a tracking device under his shoulder blade since he came out of Russia? That's the story? We're here, aren't we? According to Clara, Martin Lodge knew where he was all along. That kept Lodge alive. We're ready to go then? We take him? We're ready. I'm ready. Jesus, was I ready. I wanted to take this bastard down so badly. I couldn't wait to see the look on his face. Mahoney spoke into the mic attached to his headset. "Close on him now. And remember, he's extremely dangerous." "You got that right, Neto." Chapter 117. The black Range Rover was stopped at a light on the corner of 5th Avenue and 59th Street. Dark sedans pulled up on both sides. A third car blocked off the intersection. Agents jumped out of the cars. We had him. Gunfire suddenly erupted from a white Hummer in front of the Range Rover. The doors of the Hummer flew open. 3 men with automatic weapons came out firing. "Where the hell did they come from?" Mahoney yelled into his mic. "Everybody down!" We were already out of our car and running toward the gunfight. Ned fired and took down one of the Wolf's bodyguards. I hit another, and a third bodyguard opened up on us. Meanwhile, the Wolf was out of the Range Rover and running down 5th Avenue, staying out in the street with the cars. The condition of his face made him look as though he'd already been shot, or maybe badly burned in a fire. People on the sidewalk were hitting the pavement because of the gunshots coming from everywhere. Several were screaming uncontrollably. How far did the Wolf think he could get, looking the way he did? In New York City? Maybe far. More gunmen appeared, seemingly out of nowhere. More of his bodyguards. He had certainly brought backup. Had we brought enough? And then the Wolf ducked into a store on 5th. Mahoney and I followed him. I didn't even notice what store it was. Upscale, glitzy, 5th Avenue, for God's sake. The Wolf did the unthinkable then. Although nothing he did completely surprised me anymore. His right arm shot forward and released a dark object into the air. I watched it start to tumble. I shouted, "Grenade! Everybody down! Get down! Grenade!" A powerful explosion at the front of the store blew out 2 massive picture windows. Shoppers were hurt. The smoke was very thick and dark. Everybody inside the store was screaming, including the clerks behind nearly every counter. I never lost sight of the Wolf, never lost my focus on him. No matter what he did, no matter what the danger, he couldn't be allowed to get away this time. The cost was too high. This was the man who had held the world hostage. He'd already murdered thousands. Mahoney ran down one aisle and I took another. The Wolf appeared to be headed for an exit onto a side street. I'd lost track of where we were. 55th Street? 56th? "He doesn't get out," Ned shouted over to me. "You've got that right," I shouted back. We were getting closer and I could see the Wolf's face. With all the bandages, the bruising and swelling, he looked fiercer than I could have imagined. Worse, he looked desperate, capable of anything. But we already knew that. He yelled,
"I'll kill everybody in the store."
Neither Mahoney nor I answered. We just kept coming. But we didn't doubt what he'd said. He grabbed a small blonde girl away from what looked to be a nanny.
"I'll kill her. I'll kill the little girl. She's dead. I'll kill her."
We kept coming. He held the toddler against his chest. His blood was dripping all over her. The girl was screaming, squirming wildly in his arms.
"I'll kill..."
Ned and I fired at almost the same time. 2 shots, and the Wolf stumbled backward, letting go of the girl. She fell to the floor, then got up screeching and ran to safety. So did the Wolf. Out the nearest side door and onto the street. "He's wearing a vest. Has to be." "We'll shoot him in the head," I said. Chapter 118. We chased him east on 55th Street, along with a couple of our agents and 2 fleet-footed New York City policemen. If any of the Wolf's bodyguards had survived the bloody shootout on 5th Avenue, they'd lost track of their boss in the shuffle inside the store. They were nowhere to be seen now. Still, the Wolf looked as though he knew where he was going. Was that possible? How could he have planned for this? He probably couldn't have, so we'd get him now, right? I couldn't let myself believe otherwise, that all of this could come to nothing. We had him in our sights. He was right there in front of us. Suddenly he turned into a building, red brick, 8 to 10 stories high. Did he know someone there? More backup? A trap? What? There was security inside, at least there had been. But the uniformed guard was dead now, shot in the head, lying face down and bleeding on the glossy marble floor.